Before we begin this reading, I would like to pay my respects to the traditional owners of the land that I am filming on today, the Gimoi Walubara Yidinji people. I also wish to acknowledge their elders, past, present, and emerging. Hi everyone, and welcome to another video. I am the Hermie Tarot, if this is the first time that you're seeing me, and today we are doing a pick a group tarot reading. This reading is long awaited in that you guys have been commenting consecutively on a lot of my videos. I don't want to say all of them, but I'm pretty sure if I were to go back, I would see at least one comment on every video that I've posted for the last 3 months about a future spouse reading. Now the thing is, I have done pretty in-depth future spouse readings. I've done a lot of in-depth readings about soulmates and life partners, which is essentially what I attribute aspects of a soulmate to be. But that's a whole other story. If you want to know my opinions on soulmates, check out my podcast, Spirit Talks. I haven't posted in a while, just because I feel like life is worth living right now and not really worth talking about it. But I'm sure there'll be an episode very, very soon because I do have some updates on that. But coming back to our reading, we are doing a future spouse reading. So I keep looking down because I've got my little book here where I've written down what we're covering today. You're reading on YouTube, we're having a look at your road to your future spouse, where I will be having a look at what you'll be going through in the lead up to meeting your life partner. Your future spouse, life partner, I want to be careful about the language that I use. So your future spouse is somebody who you are basically going to be deeply committed to. It will be marriage for most of you, but for those who don't believe in marriage or those who don't prioritize marriage, this is somebody who is a very significant partner in your life, who is your next significant partner in your life. So we're going to have a look at what you go through before you meet them and to get into union with them as well. And then in your extended reading, we're going to have a look at their road to you. What do they go through in the lead up to union with you? So the extended reading is an option. It is a good way of supporting the channel, supporting me, supporting what I do, while also getting access to the bigger picture so that you can have a better look at what's going on. So for that reading today, I am going to introduce the groups. I believe I'm only going to do 3 groups. If that changes, have a look down below. That's where the groups will be posted. I'm also going to cut the frame away so that I'm out of the picture and you can focus on the groups yourself. Be careful when selecting a group. You want to make sure that you pick a group based off of how many messages are in that group for you. So if you don't feel comfortable going with what your ego decides, I highly recommend using some form of divination or intuitive pulling to really figure out which of these groups you feel most drawn to, which of these groups contains the most honest messages for you about your future spouse. I will also be playing a meditation after this clip. It's a guided meditation for those who have been following me for a while. It's like 3 years old now, but it does the trick. And that meditation is aimed at connecting you to your intuition so that you can intuitively select a group that you feel most drawn to. When you know which of these groups has the most clear, honest messages for you based off of what you are most drawn to, click on the timestamps in the description box below or in the pinned comment and join me in your reading. So the first thing I want you to do with me is to take in 2 deep, mindful breaths. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. And out, 2, 3, 4, and in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4. Now I want you to focus on clearing your mind. It's natural to have thoughts racing at this point. I want you to embrace each thought as it comes and let it slip as quickly as it came in. Focus on clearing and balancing out these thoughts so that they come and go without a desire to be attached to them. And now, with a rested mind, I want you to think of the first group that comes to your mind. It may be a number, it may be an object that I showed you. It could be a specific color, it could be a feeling that you felt when I showed you each of the groups today. When you are ready and when you feel confident, select your group and join me in your reading. Hi Group 1 and welcome to your reading. We are asking Spirit today about your future spouse, so I am going to get straight into it. We're having a look at the road to your future spouse, specifically what you need to go through in order to meet your future spouse. So I actually want to start with some oracle cards. I'm going to shuffle a few different decks. I want to start with one of my favorite decks, which you can get on Tarot Stack. I have a link in my description box that will take you to Tarot Stack. And full disclosure, it is an affiliate link, so by clicking on that link, you are letting Tarot Stack know that I sent you there, and I do get a 10% commission from whatever you order after you click on that link. So Spirit, please tune me into Group 1's energy. What is the road to their future spouse? What does the road to Group 1's future spouse look like for Group 1, please, Spirit? What does the road to Group 1's future spouse? We have Stellium coming out first. What does the road to Group 1's future spouse look like? We also have the first house. Might see if I can squeeze one more card in here. What does the road to Group 1's future spouse look like, Spirit? And we also have Virgo coming out for you. At the back of this deck is Saturn. Okay. So I'm seeing a lot of signs that the goal of you and your future spouse coming together is that you are both offering each other a brand new beginning. It feels like your future spouse is somebody who will leave a very strong impression on you. They are somebody that stands out, but that doesn't mean that they're the first person that you fall in love with. I believe with Stellium here and Saturn, you are likely to date a lot of people in between you meeting your future spouse. The road to your future spouse looks like you having a lot of experience dating and meeting people who emulate characteristics that you would want to look for in your spouse, but these people don't have the whole package. So you're kind of like dating this person and going, oh, I really like their communication style. But it's a shame that they don't value time alone as much as I do. Or I really like the way that this person makes me feel about myself, but it's a shame that they aren't consistent with their energy. So you kind of pick up a lot of characteristics from the people around you and the people that you are dating. Now, the message that I'm getting for this group is that your future spouse is somebody who comes into your life with the sole intention of being a spouse. With the first house here, not only do you get a strong first impression, but it also feels like they come into your life for a very specific reason. They don't sort of start off as a friend first, or it's not like you guys are colleagues. Like, it's very likely with the first house that you meet with the intention of dating, and the dating is serious. That doesn't mean that the way that the two of you come together is straightforward though. I want to clarify with tarot, but I believe that before you meet your future spouse, you will meet somebody else who is very close to perfect. They feel very close to what you're looking for. But there's one major principle here with Virgo that doesn't align with your expectations. I think that there's going to be somebody in the middle who ticks a lot of boxes, but with Virgo and Saturn, you guys just can't make it work long term. You just can't see eye to eye. You can't come together. And it feels like this is mostly about plans. One of you is planning something in a different direction, and you are planning something very specific, and this person just can't make that plan with you. You both don't seem to be able to come together. So I see that after you get some experience dating other people, after you get clarity of what it is that you're looking for, you will actually be spending a lot of time with yourself right before you meet your future spouse. Because after encountering that person who really ticks a lot of boxes for you, you recognize that you need some time alone to just tune out the noise and focus more on quality over quantity. You're not really interested in gaining a quantity of experiences from dating a quantity of people. You just want a quality experience with the right person. So you seem to be dialing it back right before you meet your future spouse. And that's why I think we have Saturn here, is because you guys seem to go through a lot of lessons in the road to meeting your future spouse. You go through a lot of what I want to say is like karmic lessons, but also these are lessons about self, lessons about how you want to be treated, about how you want your love language to be portrayed as well. You guys may switch up your preferences before you meet your future spouse. You may have a very specific idea of what you want, and then you encounter an individual who introduces you to that concept, and you're like, ugh, it's not actually for me. I decided that I don't want that kind of lifestyle, or I don't want a relationship like that. So I do think that the road to your future spouse is ultimately a road to self. And it's a road of really understanding yourself and reinventing yourself, so that when your future spouse comes into your life, you have wisdom, but you also have this desire for something new, for something you haven't really experienced before, for something that is almost an amalgamation of all the could've, would've, should'ves, of all of the nearlies, of all of the people who nearly were the one but weren't. So that's what the oracle cards are telling us. Let me pull them out of frame, and I'll shuffle some tarot out now so we can have a better look at what your road to your future spouse looks like. Actually, I might just layer the tarot on top. Spirit, what else can you tell us about the stellium card? What else can you tell us about the stellium card, Spirit? We have the Six of Swords reversed. What can you tell us about the first house card, Spirit? We have the Ten of Pentacles reversed. What can you tell us about the Virgo card, please, Spirit? We have the Lovers card upright. And at the back of the deck is the Two of Cups reversed. So yeah, here's the thing. You might be kissing a few frogs before you get your betrothed. I do think that this is a group of people who may even change their mind about marriage. You guys may have, from a young age said one thing, like I really want to get married, or I don't really want to get married. And then after you experience certain relationships or certain dating experiences with very specific individuals who display very specific characteristics, you seem to change your mind about the kind of future that you want. It's almost like you're craving freedom and independence more. And it's not from a place of feeling like a relationship is going to limit you. It's more from a place of wanting to experience more for yourself, and you're worried about how marriage or a specific idea of a long-term relationship is going to limit your ability to keep discovering yourself. Self-discovery is going to be very important for you, and it's a very important value that you bring into your relationship with your future spouse. So the stellium card over here, Six of Swords, is clarifying it. That tells me that not only does everything have to align perfectly in order for your future spouse to come into your life, but it feels like you have to make sure that you've experienced certain things so that you feel more confident about communicating the type of future that you want. Communicating and acting in the way that you want is very important. And it seems like the earlier relationships that you'll experience, or the earlier connections that you'll go through, are about finding your voice, feeling more confident about the actions that you need to take when it comes to your future and the conversations that you need to have when it comes to your future. Some of you may feel like you soften your voice in specific relationships because you just want to please your lover, whereas these connections are really teaching you to be more direct, more expressive, more honest, and just more communicative. Be very clear. A big lesson in dating is about being very clear about what you want in your future. The first house is being clarified by the 10 of Pentacles reverse. So this is why it feels like your future spouse is a brand new person, because when you meet them, you are going to really know what you want, but you're also going to have this desire for what you don't know yet. So you're kind of in this energy of elimination. You know what you don't want, but you're hungry for everything else that you haven't experienced yet. And the process of elimination has told you that there are very specific beliefs and values that you're bringing into your connection with your future spouse. It's likely that you're in an adventurous energy. You guys may either be traveling or you may be really developing yourself when it comes to higher learning. You may be very motivated towards finding yourself in exciting experiences, exciting places, around exciting people. There is this real thirst for life here in the middle of your reading that makes me think that you switch up the way that you see your future and you switch up the things that you want to take seriously in life just before you meet your future spouse. This aspect of your journey has you questioning your career, your lifestyle, your values, and what it is that you want to invest in long term. You guys may have tried a very conventional approach to life that is, depending on your society, maybe it was going to school, going to university or college and really trying to get like a very safe job, only to realize that this isn't what drives your sense of passion and purpose. You may feel like your purpose is very non-conventional and that you are somebody who struggles to balance your sentimental side with your thirsty sort of passionate side, because I see that you are somebody who values family, or you have a very strict idea of what stability looks like and what success looks like. But there's a period in your life where you seem to be doing the exact opposite of what you know is right and what is safe. And there's also a period in your life in which you're not looking for anything serious when it comes to love, where you are just wanting to be free, you don't want to be tied down, and you don't want a relationship to hold you back. Regardless of the person that you meet, you don't want a relationship to hold you back. The thing is, with Virgo here, it's being clarified by the Lovers card. So ultimately, right before you come into union with your future spouse, you have to make a big decision about opening up more and giving more in order to receive more. It seems that for a lot of you, your future spouse is somebody who you may be reluctant to let in to your inner world. You seem to be safeguarding your emotions from this person at the time that they come into your life, and union with them is about choosing them. With Virgo and the Lovers card here, you making a decision that this person is somebody who you can imagine a meaningful relationship with. An emphasis on those words. This is a person that you can imagine a meaningful relationship with. That doesn't mean that it's conventional. That doesn't mean that it holds anything back. You've weighed everything up with this person. You've weighed up the pros, you've weighed up the cons, and you've examined how this connection is beneficial for both of you. You believe that this person and yourself are able to see eye to eye, even if there was a point in time in which you couldn't with your lovers. This person seems to be very focused on themselves as well. In fact, you are both able to prioritize self-discovery. I'm going to get a read on what this person is like and why they are your future spouse, why you choose them. But I can see in this part of your reading that it's very obvious that you choose your future spouse, group 1. So let's have a look now at why you choose this person. First of all, I just want to do something before we get into that, Spirit. What is the likelihood of group one's future spouse being somebody that they've already dated? Because I can kind of feel that here. I wasn't going to say anything, but I think I need to tick that off the list for those of you who feel like that could be a possibility. What is the likelihood of group one's future spouse being somebody that they've already dated? We have the Tower reversed. What's the likelihood, Spirit? We have the Eight of Swords. We have the Ten of Cups and the Four of Cups at the back of the deck. So here's what I'm hearing. In terms of could this be somebody you've already dated, I'm hearing when it's over, it's over. So I feel like you're somebody who really gives a lot into a connection, even if it's temporary. You try to be very clear about that. You try to be very obvious about what it is that you want. So the likelihood of this being somebody from your past is very unlikely. There is an energy here of you making sure that you do everything that you can to know that you're not missing out on anything. So I do think that there will be people in your life who you have cycles with, where the energy is repurposed and you do go back to see if there's anything there. But Spirit's saying when it's over, it's over. So the only way that your future spouse could be somebody that you've already dated is if you have really exhausted the emotional potential in that connection, and you know for a fact that you're not missing out on anything because you've had conversations and those conversations have been insightful. Your future spouse is somebody who inspires you. They make you want to imagine a future that is very different to what you have been able to visualize with other people. Whereas other people who you are not compatible with, when you talk to them, it's a dead end. They say something and you can very clearly see how your futures are on different paths. Your future spouse is somebody who is going to be very radical. What they say to you is going to trigger a lot of shifts, and it's going to make you see things in a different way. But you've already been going through that process with other people that you've dated. Other people that you've dated have initiated Tower moments as well, and they have helped you examine how what you want is very different to what you thought you wanted. What you need in your life in terms of a spouse is very different to what you thought you needed. So ultimately, your future spouse is somebody who's going to make you very, very happy because they ultimately want you to be very, very happy. They're not going to emotionally distort your visions of success and what you want for your future because they want the same thing as you. So that's what I'm seeing in terms of could this be somebody from your past. I really think that you're going to have people who you may really try to work things out with. And the way to see if they're not your future spouse is that you just can't see eye to eye. When you talk about things that you want for your future, it always leads to dead ends. Whereas when you start to go through challenges with your future spouse and when you start to communicate your desire for self-discovery, your future spouse will be excited for you. They'll be supportive of you and they'll genuinely want the same things for themselves. So that's what I'm seeing. Let's have a look at your future spouse now. Okay. Okay. I actually want to stick with tarot. But I also want to get one of these cards. Actually, no. Let's do tarot. Let's do tarot. Spirit, what makes Group 1's future spouse unique? Why does Group 1 choose this person? Why does Group 1 choose this person, Spirit? Okay, first card is the Emperor reversed. That's interesting. I heard I choose you, Pikachu. So Pokemon could be a reference here. Somebody could be a Pokemon fan or could be a 90s kid. We have the Devil coming out. Why does group 1 choose this person? We have the King of Cups reversed. I genuinely think that you develop very strong feelings for this person. Maybe you weren't expecting to. With the King of Cups reversed, the World card at the back of the deck, this person wants what you want, to put it very simply. You guys are both interested in seeing the world or in expanding in very specific ways. That's not quite fitting, is it? Let me just move that back a little bit and move that up a little bit. This camera is so heavy. Is that straight? Kind of. Not really. I can probably just straighten the cards. That's probably the easiest option. Okay, so here's what I'm seeing. This is somebody who is very kindred in nature. You guys may share similar beliefs. You guys may also have similar goals in life. You guys may have similar milestones in life. There is this energy here with the World card at the back of the deck of you really looking up to this person. They may have done things that you are just in awe of. They come across as a very strong person, emotionally very strong, but also physically quite strong. So I think that this is somebody who you see as a very accomplished individual, somebody who may have a different background to you, not necessarily though. But I do think with the World card here, you both have the same points of views on the things that matter when it comes to long-term goals and when it comes to wanting the same things. So you're on the same page. I also think that you want to do the same things. So it just feels a little bit natural in that respect. There's this respect here for each other's goals and achievements. I do think that this person will be very supportive of you. I'm getting fan energy because we had the 6 of Cups behind the World card. So this feels like your future spouse is your biggest fan. They hype you up. They don't take away from your sense of success. They don't want to take up space. Like when they're with you and when they're talking to others about you, they make it about you. They don't say, well, yes, we did this and I did that and I did this and we were there, but I did that. It's very much like, this is what group 1 did. Did you know that? This is what group 1 was doing. We went to this place and group 1 did this. Like they really are proud of being with you and they make you feel seen. There's a strong feeling here of being a very kindred spirit too. So I think that there's just a natural ease between the two of you. With the Emperor here reversed, when it comes to why you chose this person, I think that they are different. I don't think that they're a safe option. I think that there's a risk here in choosing this person. I think that you're very physically attracted to this person, tempted by them is what I'm hearing with the Devil card here. You're very tempted by this person, by how they make you feel, by the way that they look. I just realized I've got Tiggle Bitties on the screen. YouTube is going to be very upset about that. And I think that this attraction to them makes you consider things that you wouldn't have previously considered. With that being said, the Emperor reversed is saying that you also are looking for a change of plans. So what makes you choose this person is that they are a temptation. It does feel like a risky decision, but it also feels like something that you have to do. Like if you don't do this, you're either going to regret it or you're going to question it for the rest of your life. So there's something about this choice in choosing each other that feels very vulnerable, especially with the King of Cups reversed. It's not an easy decision. It feels risky. It feels like you're succumbing to temptation. It feels like there's going to have to be a lot of planning after this. And it also feels like you're even going to have to go through a period of strain where your connection is going to, you're both going to have to put in a lot of effort to keep the connection going. But it's all worth it because with the King of Cups reversed, you're probably going to have deep feelings by the time that you're in this position. It feels like an emotional connection with this person happens very naturally, my group ones. So the choice isn't yours, the choice is your heart. Your logical mind is like, oh, but this is going to be so tricky, and like this wasn't a part of the plan. This is so risky. Am I just doing this because they're so attractive to me? Am I just doing this because I feel tempted physically? But your heart is like, no, you're doing this because it's what we want. It's what you want. It's what your heart wants. So King of Cups reverse, the choice is an emotional one. And I do think that there may be a period here in which you may try to deny the depth of your feelings. I want to see what the blockages are when it comes to union. So I'm going to use a smaller deck again, just so we can fit everything in there. What are the blockages for group one when it comes to union with their future spouse, Spirit? What are the blockages? Wow, Chariot. So someone may have to physically move in order to make this work. It could be a long distance travel with the Chariot. There could also be a question of determination. Like you both have to really want this in order for it to work. What are the blockages when it comes to union for group one and their future spouse, Spirit? We also have the Princess of Swords reversed. What are the blockages? Oops, ay Dios mío. All right. We have the Three of Wands. Yeah, I'm seeing long distance for some of you. You guys may be at a distance for a period of time. Why is it doing that? There we go. And at the back of the deck is the Princess of Wands reversed. It does feel like in order for this connection to work, you both have to make each other a priority. You both have to really want this. And you both have to be determined to make it work. Determination, courage, and really following through. Making sure that you follow through with your plans, with your promises, both of you. So I do see, oops, what have I done here? There we go. I do see with the Three of Wands, there could be a period in which you are long distance. There could be a period in which you have to make a plan, you know, slowly invest energy into it, and then, you know, see it through after a period of time. So it could take time for the two of you to come together. It feels like you both, with the Princess reversed, you both may get distracted from this connection. The Princess of Swords reverse, you may get distracted or tempted by other people. You may get distracted by other ideas. You may decide, you know, I need to just make sure that I'm not putting all my eggs in one basket. You may want to know if the grass is greener somewhere else. You may also just want to know if you're being foolish. So you may be trying to seek inspiration or opinions outside of the connection, just to see, like, are you being immature about this? Are you being naive? Are you being foolish about what you think and about what you want? So there seems to be a period in which this connection is interfered by external opinions. You may be projecting instead of really getting to the bottom. Instead of communicating with each other one-on-one, you may be asking other people for advice, or you may just be assuming what the other person is thinking. Instead of asking your future spouse, like, what do you want? What do you see for our future? You may just be assuming, well, they would never want that, or it would just be impossible. So assumptions seem to limit your ability to really come together into union. I also just think with the Princess of Wands reversed, some of you guys may feel like you may be projecting previous experiences onto this connection, and you may just assume, like, this person doesn't want what I want. They're not going to let me continue doing what I need to do. I can't let this person, I can't take this person too seriously, or I can't let them take me too seriously, because we both want different things. We're both growing in different ways. There seems to be an energy here of projecting expectations from previous experiences onto this experience, which creates a very big blockage in the connection's ability to move forward. So the biggest blockages are courage, determination, physical movement, and seeing it through. Really committing yourself to this. Once you do that, you'll realize that you've been making a lot of assumptions about what you think is going to happen and projecting previous experiences onto this person instead of really letting them show you. So, I want to have a look now at what advice your higher self and your spiritual team has for you in order for you to come into union with this person. Regardless of what stage you're at in your journey, at the time that you are seeing this reading, let's have a look. Okay, Spirit, what advice do you have? What advice does Group 1 spiritual team and higher self have for them when it comes to union with their future spouse, Spirit? Oops, there we go. What advice does Group 1's higher self and spiritual team have? We have 4 of Wands reversed. They're saying get out of your comfort zone. Your joy isn't stable. So that's interesting. They're saying that in order for you to achieve that sense of connection and joy that you're looking for in a relationship, you have to be uncomfortable. You can't be comfortable and have this level of growth and connection. You have to be uncomfortable. You have to push yourself out of your comfort zone. Spirit, what else? This could be your hint to travel as well, to get out of the house more, or to really see a plan through, a plan that you've made yourself. You need to see it through because your connection to your future spouse is on the other end of something that isn't finished yet because you haven't pushed yourself out of a comfort zone. What other advice do you have for Group 1? We have the 6 of Pentacles, giving and receiving. This message is telling me that it's very important that you put in the effort to really get to know people and to understand how compatible you could be. At the back of the deck is the Ace of Pentacles, which is the strengthening bonds card. So this is telling me that you and your future spouse really need to be able to get to know each other. You need to be able to spend quality time with the people that you're dating or that you're getting to know so that you can properly understand how compatible you are, and so that you are really giving yourself a chance to open up and to understand what that person has to offer you. Quality time is really important. And it's also going to be a good opportunity for you to see someone for who they truly are so that you can weed out who those frogs are on your road to finding your future spouse. This is going to eliminate you over-romanticizing a person or getting too attached to the fantasy of a person, to the idea of a person, instead of to who they really are. So Spirit's saying investing, putting effort in, and investing that quality time is going to help you strengthen the right bonds and also realize where you have been over-romanticizing and getting attached to the fantasy of somebody instead of who they really are. What other advice do you have for my Group 1s and how they can come into union with their future spouse? We have the 9 of Cups reversed. You need to make sure that you are prioritizing your dreams. 9 of Cups, your emotional well-being is very important in order to come into union with your future spouse. So that's telling me that for a lot of you, your happiness, what you've been wanting to do, is going to lead you towards your future spouse. At the back of the deck is move, the Chariot. Moving, getting into a new location or getting out of a comfort zone, really challenging yourself, spreading your wings is at the back of the deck, as well as seek your truth. I don't know if you can see that. So I do think that for a lot of you, meeting your future spouse is in a place where you are a little bit uncomfortable, where you're open to strengthening bonds, and when you kind of are going to be pushing yourself to really open up in order to receive more. You're very communicative as well. Spirit's saying seek the truth by expressing your truth. So your advice is to be very direct, very clear about what you want, which we did see in your reading. Right here, right now is the time to really unmask any hidden truths. If there is somebody in your life who you're questioning compatibility with, ask them the question. Get that truth so that you can tick that person off the list, because your future spouse is somebody who you will be compatible with. So instead of attaching yourself to the fantasy of what somebody who's currently in your life could be, get to know them better and really see if you two do have the same ideas about commitment, about the future, about passions and exploring. Your future spouse isn't going to clip your wings. Your future spouse is going to want to soar with you. They're going to give you space to soar by yourself, but they're also going to want the same things that you want. And if you're currently feeling unhappy, if you feel like you have somebody in your life that you need to clarify things with, do it, so that you're not asking yourself for much longer whether this person is your future spouse or not. That's your closing advice. So that's what I'm seeing for you, group 1. I hope this was a helpful message for you. I'm going to end your reading here and go into your extended reading, which will be on my website. The link is in the description box as well as the pinned comment. You are going to be group 1. So make sure you click on the right reading. When you click on the link, you're group 1 of the Your Road to Your Future Spouse reading that I posted in, goodness, I'm guessing March, but it could be April 2024. So if you would like to join me there, we're going to have a better look at your future spouse now. What is your future spouse's road to you going to be like? And we did get some characteristics of this person, but I want to get more in your extended reading. We're going to have a better look at what this person is like, what they go through in order to meet you, and what makes them choose you to be your future spouse as well. So if that sounds interesting, the link is in the description box and the pinned comment. I shall see you there. If this is where you're leaving us, thank you so much for all your time, your energy, and your support, group 1. I wish you peace, prosperity, abundance, happiness, health, wealth, and joy on your road ahead. Look after your beautiful self until our paths cross again. Bye. Group 2, and welcome to your reading. We are going to have a look at your road to your future spouse in today's reading. There will be an extended reading as well where we will have a look at your future spouse's road to you. So if the first part of your reading resonates right here on YouTube and you would like to support me as well as gather additional messages about your future spouse, the link to your extended reading is in the description box. I will remind you at the end as well. But let's get into it, sweet souls. So group 2, I'm going to open your reading by pulling some oracle cards and then clarifying with tarot. So we're going to have a look at what your road to your future spouse is going to look like. I've been using decks that I feel really drawn to lately, but I am acknowledging that I need to switch things up. So I have ordered some brand new decks from Tarot Stack, which should arrive. Actually, it might take a little while. It may not be in our next video, but it will be in the video after that. So I'm excited. But for now, I'm using the Telesma Tarot deck for your reading. Group 2, please, Spirit. What is Group 2's road to their future spouse going to be like? With 3 cards. Okay, your first card is the Princess of Coins reversed. What is Group 2's road to their future spouse going to be like, please, Spirit? Okay, we also have the King of Wands showing up reversed. And the last card is the Hermit card upright. So straight off the cuff, I'm seeing that you will have a period of being single right before you meet your future spouse. And the Hermit card to me is a huge chapter in your life. Like, this is not subtle, group 2. This is a part of your life that you look back on and you go, wow, I gained a lot of wisdom. I gained a lot of clarity about who I am. I gained an opportunity here to really explore myself and to understand myself better. But it may have been that some of y'all have been single for years in the lead up to meeting your future spouse. There will be one other significant relationship right before that period of separation where this person kind of shows you everything that you don't want in a partner. And that may be part of the reason why you are single for so long afterwards. But it could also be that during this period of introspection, you're choosing not to commit yourself until you find somebody who you deem is the one. So this is my group that I believe is really holding out for their future spouse. You're really waiting. You may meet other people, see other people, get to know other people, but you're not committing yourself until you find somebody who can really treat you the way that you deserve. With the Last Judgment card at the back of the deck, and it is reversed as well, I believe that overall, the road to your future spouse is about redemption. It's about resurrection. It's about realization. You seem to be needing to realize things about yourself in order to really come into union with your future spouse. Why isn't that fitting in? The glare is a bit annoying, but I think I've got it. Okay. I might cut some of that out because it was just unnecessarily long. Anyway, so group 2, as I was saying, the road to your future spouse theme-wise is about realizing, it's about reinventing, and also trying really bloody hard. Like, some of you guys have a period here where you really try to make it work with somebody who you think is your future spouse. You really try with the Last Judgment card reverse. You give it your all, you put a lot of effort into it, and you even tell yourself at some point that, you know, this person is filled with potential. They have so much color to them. They're so passionate. They're so attractive. We're going to be able to make this work. The Last Judgment card reverse means that you are somebody that really puts a lot of effort and energy into something before you give up, before you end it all. You're not somebody who gives up easily. The road to your future spouse is about you learning the hard way when to let go of people who aren't meant for you and when to prioritize yourself. Some of you guys may have dealt with a very selfish person in your dating past, or you will before you meet your future spouse. And this encounter with this individual is very much about you realizing that love is about compromise, but it's also about you both sacrificing, both contributing, both giving. And it seems like you encounter somebody who brings out aspects of yourself that you're not very proud of either. There's energy here of really needing to manipulate in order to feel like you have some control in this connection. So it could have been mutual. You could have both experienced that, where you felt like you had to either emotionally manipulate or mentally manipulate, but it could have been something that just happened to you as well. I don't want to get too specific in a general reading with only 3 groups, but that is a major theme there. In your earlier dating years with the Princess of Coins reversed, I can see that your love life was very much about you feeling like you weren't being seen for who you truly are. You guys may have been late bloomers. You may have been people who had glow-ups after high school, or you may have been people who feel like you just don't resonate with your peer group when you were younger. You may have liked older things. You may have felt like you were born in the wrong time. You may resonate as a bit of an old soul, or as a bit of an oddball, someone who didn't really fit in. It feels like your potential wasn't recognized, and you guys may have had attraction towards people who didn't really give you what you wanted, either because it wasn't requited, like that attraction only went one way, or you may have found yourself entertaining people who were obviously going to be very temporary. I don't think you would have had a very significant relationship in high school. I think that this is a group that was probably more drawn to older people, and you may have felt like older people get you better. If you did have a boyfriend, girlfriend, partner in school, I believe that they were a lot older than you, or you guys were looking for somebody that could really match what you believe was intellect, your maturity. Now, the thing is, sorry, my eye's leaking. With that Princess of Coins reversed, it feels like a major theme here is you recognizing how you may have grown a bit too quickly. And I do think that you look back and you think like, dang, I didn't know anything. I really thought I did. I thought I was someone who was way ahead of my time. But for us to finish on the Hermit card and start with the Page of Coins reversed, this is a classic tale of naivety and over-assuming wisdom versus experience. You guys really thought you had it all put together, and you may have had a lot of people project that onto you as well and say, group 2, like, you're an old soul, you're just different, you carry yourself differently, you're not like other people your age, projecting that onto you. But I can see with the Hermit card as our final card, there was a lot more for you to learn about yourself. You may have found yourself clinging to a lot more of the external. Maybe you were really talented. You were like a prodigy kid who was very good at something very specific, and people really fed on that and sort of associated that with your identity, to the point where later in life you had to kind of find yourself again when you stopped doing whatever that was, because it feels like your whole sense of identity gets rattled after that significant relationship with the King of Wands person. This King of Wands person could have been a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, but not necessarily. It just shows that their personality was full of a lot of potential. That relationship was full of a lot of potential, and you both really tried to make it work, but I also think that there was a lot of immaturity in how you would have dealt with challenges, arguments, issues. I don't think that you guys were ever able to equally compromise and equally feel like the connection was... It's almost like there were moments here where you would have liked that things got heated, because at least that's something, at least you're feeling something. But anyway, I do think that you lose yourself a little bit, and you're on the road to finding yourself and really processing your childhood, your upbringing, your earlier years, right before you meet your future spouse. So it feels like this is a process of years, and you have to learn how to trust yourself again with the Hermit card. So let me get some tarot out. Well, we do have tarot already, but I want to get more. Spirit, clarify the Page of Coins there, please. The Princess of Coins. What is group 2, road to their future spouse looking like with that Page of Coins? Group 2s. We have the sweets. It's the exact same card, upright this time. The Princess of Pentacles clarifying the Princess of Coins. Okay, so it is what it is. We covered everything that we could in that case. Clarify the King of Wands, please. We have the 3 of Cups and the 4 of Pentacles reversed. Yeah, I feel like you and this person, this relationship in the middle, had a really good friendship. And for those that don't resonate as somebody who had a relationship, maybe you have been single this whole time, or you've been in messy sort of situationships, this person could have been a friend. There could have been a really strong foundation of friendship there with the 3 of Cups, and you guys kind of going through things and then always kind of making it work until you decided enough is enough, like nothing's going to change. This is hurting more than it's healing. So with the 4 of Pentacles reversed, I do think that this theme in your road to your future spouse is about letting go and is about realizing that you want more than what that person can give you. So you guys may choose to stay in each other's lives as friends with the Three of Cups, but I also think that this is you really stepping into your abundance energy, where you're claiming more love for yourself and you're letting go of breadcrumbs. You're like, listen, potential is not enough. I need evidence that you can emulate the things that I need. And if you can't, then I need to be free to be able to find that in other people. Clarify the Hermit card, please, Spirit. We have the Devil and the Magician. Interesting. On the ground, might I add, is Justice and the King of Swords. I don't have room for these cards. Okay, we can put them over here. Alrighty. It's a little messy, but that's okay. At the back of the deck is the Ace of Cups, by the way. Just for your information. So the thing is, the irony of this whole journey is that you end up becoming an incredibly powerful, confident, beautiful, attractive, magnetic, resilient person because of your dating experiences, as well as that time alone. Your journey to your future spouse leaves you being magnetic to your future spouse. You're exactly what your future spouse is looking for, group 2. And I really think that overall, your future spouse is going to make it obvious to you. They're not going to emulate past cycles as long as you are able to release past cycles. If you are able to really get yourself to the stage where you're not attached to people from your past, you're not expecting a connection with somebody from your past, and if you are able to really break some of those habits that you've been conditioned to have from people from your past, then your future spouse will make it very obvious who they are and what they're ready for, because they feel like a brand new person to me. They feel like somebody who is immediately approaching you with the intention of taking you seriously. The thing is, I do believe that your future spouse emulates the type of masculine energy that you really needed when you were younger. There's a part of this person that feels very mature, very conscientious. They feel like they are someone who has a really good head on their shoulders. They make wise choices. They also don't claim to know everything. They're not out here trying to be a know-it-all like this King of Wands energy. They don't try to prove themselves. They're just showing up as themselves, stating it for what it is. They're interested in having deep conversations about the relationship as well as about you. They want to know you. They want to study you. And I think that's why it's very important that you have this hermit period here where you take time to study yourself, because without that period, you're leaving yourself vulnerable to people who want to condition you, to people that want to mold you, and to people that are manipulative. Your future spouse is not manipulative, group 2. They want you as you are. And that's why they claim you when you are your strongest, not your weakest. Don't get me wrong, they are your future spouse for a reason. This is somebody who is very attracted to your strength, your beauty, your attractiveness, but they are also somebody who is very fiercely loyal. So once they're in for all the good, the bad, the ugly, the in-between. They aren't just going to expect you to be your best self all the time. That's what they were drawn to initially. But this is a conversationalist. This is somebody that likes to understand you, understand how you work. And I honestly get this energy of them being quite smitten by you. They may have strong air energy. Like I'm getting mostly, what's that one? Aquarius. It's where it's giving me the kind of energy where this is someone that studies you a lot. They observe you a lot. They notice things about you. Strong air sign energy. Also Virgo is like this. But they may not communicate everything that they know about you. They may just sort of make a note about it. And then when it's relevant, they'll bring it up again. They'll be like, hey, you remember when you did this? What was that about? And you're like, what? You may not be used to that after your period of being alone here, and it may really throw you off. I do think that people that you will meet before you meet your future spouse emulate these qualities. They won't have the full package, but certain people that you come across will have little aspects of your future spouse that you really enjoy. So you may have a colleague or a friend who is also very attentive and you're like, wow, I really value that trait. I hope my future spouse has that too. You may meet a love interest who is very logical and really good at sort of tackling these big decisions with a balanced mind. And you may go, oh, I really like that about them, but we just didn't have that spark that I'm looking for. So you kind of make a note of it. Like, I really want my future spouse to be direct and communicative and logical and balanced minded, but I also want them to be passionate about me, and I want us to feel very drawn to each other. So this future spouse is definitely the manifestation of your experiences. And that's why I think it's very important for you to observe your experiences in this Hermit energy and to make sure that you're only projecting the qualities that you want onto this person. Keeping in mind, everybody has free will. But it reminds me of that saying that you will see the reality that you want to see. And if you only see the toxic conditionings of dependency and manipulation, then that's all you will attract. So staying open to the best and recognizing the red flags so that you can limit those people's access to you is going to be very helpful throughout this Hermit energy, because you feel tested. This Hermit energy, even though you're alone in that, even though you're choosing to be single, that doesn't mean that people aren't still trying to come towards you. With this Devil energy, people are really drawn to you in your healing period. People who are weak are drawn to you in your healing period because you're trying to gain strength. So they want to take advantage of the fact that you're healing consciously, subconsciously, and it's an energetic thing. They can see that you are somebody who is in a vulnerable space. So it's very important that you stick to what you want and stick to what you know with the Magician card, so that you don't fall victim to codependent and manipulative people who are trying to limit you from finding your future spouse, again, consciously or subconsciously. I don't think these people are malicious. I just think that they are very drawn to the fact that you have a lot of potential within you, and you are very, to be honest, moldable in that state. It's giving me the same vibes of when crustaceans molt their shells and they become very soft instead of very hard and protective. So when you're in this very soft state, you've got these predators who are just like trying to take advantage of that, knowing that one day you'll have that hard shell. But if they can just get in there before the shell calcifies, then maybe they can get you to do things that you wouldn't usually do, just to get a reaction or a rise out of you. You guys may have a really messy situationship with a Gemini, Virgo, Capricorn, Aries, or Sagittarius until you're able to really sort of separate yourself from that person and focus more on who you are. A Libra as well may be a part of your healing journey. But I also just think that it's that energy of meeting people at a time where you're trying to heal to gain more. And these people are just drawn to the fact that there's a lot there that you aren't able to hold yourself up against yet. Anyway, that's what I'm seeing. Let me pack this up. I want to have a look at how you're likely to meet your future spouse. So let us see. Down, 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 down. Okay. Yeah, your future spouse is going to be worth the wait, you guys. They are, I promise. I'm not just saying that. Like, they will be worth the wait. All right, group 2, please, Spirit. How will they meet their future spouse? How will group 2 meet their future spouse? How will group 2? We have the Sun. 11th house. And trine. I used to say trine at one point. Do you guys remember that? Because I heard it somewhere. And so I started saying it like that. We also have Saturn return. It's highly likely that you guys may meet this person online initially, and your first meetup is going to be during the day. These are the scenarios for this group. Either a friend is going to set you up with the 11th house and trine. A friend is going to be like, hey, I know somebody. Would you mind coming together and meeting them? Or you guys are going to end up connecting online, and you're going to realize that you have a lot in common, that you have very specific things that you like to do together. You may even have mutual friends. But ultimately, you realize that it's very easy to communicate with this person. You're very at ease. The thing is, Saturn return is interesting. It makes me think that you'll be going through a cycle where you're revisiting past experiences at the time that you meet this person. You're going through past karma, and you're recognizing how grown you are, how evolved you are, how mature you are, how far you've come. Saturn return is alluding to the fact that you might meet this person at a place in your life where it was very difficult for you to be there. Physically, it was hard for you to be there. That physical location is resembling history and experiences that were very difficult for you. It was a challenging time. And it's a time in your life where you would look back and you would go, oh, I never want to go back there. Whether it was a home, a college, a campus or something like that, or a town, a city that you lived in. For some reason, you're back there. And that's how you meet this person, revisiting that aspect and recognizing how far you've come, because you're a success story with this Saturn return. You're a protege, somebody who has clearly been able to overcome those challenges and who has experienced a glow up since those specific experiences. With the Sun card being here, I think I already said this, but you guys are likely to meet this person during the day while you're doing something that you really enjoy, and while you are trying to create a moment of joy for yourself. So it's either likely that the first time you meet in person will be your date because you've been set up by people to be there, and it could be a blind date or it could be, a group of friends and your friends are like, hey, like, I really want you to meet this person. Would you come out to coffee with us and see if you get along? Your first instance seems to be you in a really good mood. When you meet this person, you're in a really good mood. You're feeling yourself. You're feeling confident. You're dressed up. You look good. You smell good. Your mental health is good. It's a good day. Even if it's raining, it's your type of rain. You know what I mean? Even if it's cold, it's your type of cold. You feel really good about everything. And the meeting feels really positive because your mindset seems to be focused on making the most out of this day, out of this moment. It's likely that you will do something that's really fun and may even be associated with like more of like a childish activity. Things that come to mind is like going to an arcade, playing video games. I'm not saying that that's childish. Sorry to people who are gamers now, but you know what I mean? Like activities that you would have enjoyed more when you were a child. And so there's a nostalgia to whatever it is that you're doing. There's a strong nostalgia to the feelings of meeting your future spouse. 11th house is telling me there's a surprise element here. Either you're not expecting to meet this person, or the whole thing is like a blind date. And you've been invited to kind of be there. And then the trine energy makes me think that someone is helping the two of you meet. There's the setup energy. The only reason I threw in online and meeting online was because behind Saturn return, we had the 3rd house, which is very much about communication and online communication, as well as the 11th house. The 11th house could be about technology. So I do think that is how you are likely to meet this person. Is there any other closing advice you can give my group tools to help them meet their future spouse at the time that they are seeing this? Keep in mind, you're all probably at different stages in your journey to your future spouse, but we'll just see what comes out for you from Spirit. First card is the Sun card, Shine, in the reverse position. We also have the Seven of Wands, Choose Your Battles. And we have the Three of Wands, Take the Lead. At the back of the deck is the Tower card, which is Rebuild. Oops, there we go. So here's the thing, sweet soul. A lot of your reading is about transformation and allowing things to happen as well as end in order for you to be able to move forward and start new chapters, meet new people, be in a different energy, and really embrace what it is that you deserve. You are somebody who is going to go through a major glow up later in your life. And I also think that you're somebody who will really transform before you meet this person. You'll be a very different person from your previous relationship to who you are once you're in a connection with your future spouse. Very different person. Your ex may not recognize you by the time you're with your future spouse. So your advice is really to allow yourself to transform through the endings, allow things to come full circle. Don't hold on to things too tightly. If something is meant for you, it will choose you. If it isn't meant for you, let it go with love and stay open to what is meant for you. The Sun card is highlighting a need to prioritize your mental health, your mental well-being. Shine reversed is telling me that for a lot of you, prioritizing the way that you see yourself, your self-esteem, your well-being is going to be very beneficial in you meeting your future spouse. Because when you do meet them, we know what your headspace is like. It's almost annoyingly positive. So the main thing you need to prioritize is your confidence, is your mental clarity, feeling, I want to say content, but also like you can shine from the inside out, like you can confidently wear your personality on your sleeve in any setting, let alone a setting where you are put up on a blind date to meet this person. So prioritizing your well-being is the best thing that you can do, whatever journey you're at, in whatever stage you're at in your journey, With the Seven of Wands reversed, this Choose Your Battles. Depending on where you're at in your journey, Spirit is reiterating the importance of being selective. The reason why you meet your future spouse is because you don't allow yourself to be accessible to everybody. You allow yourself to experience what is necessary to be able to weed out personality traits that you don't like. But I think that you are somebody who is supposed to be selective. You're not supposed to be accessible to everybody. It's too much for you, for your soul, and for your personality. I feel like there are a lot of people who seem to try to latch onto you and take advantage of you and really want the goodness from you. There's a purity within you that needs to be protected, and innocence. And I don't think you always saw it. I think when you were younger, you assumed that you were different, but it's because you were mature and you're an old soul and a protege and all of this. And it's like, as you get older, you just want to protect your inner child more. So Spirit is really encouraging you to invest your energy wisely and to trust that if something falls apart, like you meet somebody and they seem really good and they have qualities that you really like and you both seem compatible, but it just doesn't work, let it go. Trust that this is part of the rebuilding process. Right now, you are all experiencing changes that are necessary to create strong foundations that help you and your future spouse come together. You are a very stable, secure, confident, successful, attractive, magnetic person when you meet your future spouse. So if you don't feel like that yet, these are the things you really need to focus on. Building that strong foundation of self by letting people go and trusting that the right person is going to be extremely direct, clear, confident, and attracted to you. Lastly, with that take the lead card, I do think that overall, this is a card to inspire confidence in you. Spirit's saying, please stay open-minded. Please maintain a level of optimism. Life isn't easy. We know that. There are ups and downs. There are moments where we really need to just get in our heads and dig through some heavy thoughts, some heavy feelings. But as long as you're maintaining that belief that things can get better, you are one step closer to meeting this person. With the Three of Wands, Spirit saying, keep your eyes on the horizon. Don't get distracted by what's here and what's there and what's really loud right in front of you. Your future spouse, for most of you, is somebody on your horizon who is going to really capture your heart and want to protect it from the beginning. I do think that this Three of Wands is talking about the waiting game and how important that time alone is to be able to foster your confident, best version of yourself. This person only gets the best version of yourself because they are worthy of that version of yourself. People from your past are not. People that you've been dealing with don't deserve you at your best self. Group 2, it's as simple as that. So keep your eyes on the horizon and keep working on how you see yourself and on how you are somebody who doesn't need to be accessible to everybody. So that's what I'm seeing for you, sweet soul. I'm going to end your reading here. I could talk about future spouses forever, so I think I'm going to have to do a different future spouse reading soon. But until then, if you would like more messages about your future spouse, you can join me in the extended reading where we're going to have a look at your future spouse's road to you. And we're also going to have a look at more of what this person is like. I kind of talked about their personality a little bit, but in your extended reading, we're going to look deeper into what their personality is like, how the two of you are compatible, and all of that. So if that sounds interesting, and if you would like to support me and this channel, the link to your extended reading is in the description box right below, or it's in the pinned comment as well. That link takes you to my website where you will have to select the right group. So remember your group 2 of my Your Road to Your Future Spouse reading that I would have posted either in March or April 2024. So make sure you click on the right group, please, before you check out. Double check, triple check. Thank you so much for being here, group 2. I really appreciate your energy, your time, and your support. It is a privilege and a pleasure to read for you. Until our paths cross again, I wish you peace, prosperity, abundance, happiness, health, wealth, success, and joy on your journey ahead. Look after your beautiful selves. Take care. Bye. Hi group 3 and welcome to your reading. We're asking Spirit today, what does your road to your future spouse look like? Now, this is a future spouse reading. We're going to get information about your future spouse in this reading, but I want this reading to help you understand how your future spouse is going to come into your life. So really, the most of this reading is us understanding what your love journey looks like until you come into union with your future spouse, so that you can identify where you're at in your journey and so that you can better understand how quickly you and your future spouse will come into union. We will be answering a few other questions in this video as well, but there is also going to be an extended reading where we will focus more on your future spouse, their personality, your compatibility, and how your future spouse meets you, what their road to union with you looks like. So if the first part of your reading resonates and you want to access the extended, it's a great way to gain more information, and it's also a great way to support me and to support this channel. There'll be more information about that at the end, but the link is in the description box and the pinned comment. Without more spiels, let's get into it. Spirit, tune me into group 3's energy, please. Tune me into group 3's energy. What is group three's road to their future spouse, Spirit? What can you tell us about group three's road? We have the Lovers card reversed. Was too ready to slide through that card. What else can you tell us about group three's road to their future spouse, please, Spirit? Group three. Oops. What else can you tell us about group three's road to their future spouse? Come on, Spirit. Thank you. We have the Ace of Coins upright. One more card. Group three's road to their future spouse, please, Spirit. What is group three's road to their future spouse? Wow. Okay, I feel like it's this card. We have the Justice card reversed. Okay. In my hand, I have the Five of Wands at the back of the deck, but at the back of this whole thing, we also have the Last Judgment card. So here's the thing. Let me just get a bit comfortable, because that's the benefit of sitting in a couch like this while I'm doing this reading. The road to your future spouse, group three, is definitely a road that has a lot of, I want to say, false starts. I think that you guys may be married before you meet your future spouse, or you may be in long-term connections before you meet your future spouse. There's this energy here of you thinking that you've met somebody who you want a partnership with and who you want a future with, only to realize that you have differences that are irreconcilable. And this could be the legal term that you use as well. When y'all separate, the differences are irreconcilable. I do think that your road to your future spouse is actually quite empowering. And I think that this is probably a frustrating thing to hear, depending on what part of your journey you're in. In hindsight, you are an incredibly attractive person. You have a lot to offer. You have a lot of interest. People seem to be out here competing for your energy 90% of the time. So I think that you have the luxury of choice when it comes to who you want to marry. And I also think that your previous experiences haven't really made you feel hopeful about marriage. Maybe you're somebody who doesn't want to be married again, or maybe you want to prove a point to yourself and be married to the right person next time. But there's this strong energy here of you really coming into yourself and being able to prove a lot to yourself through the relationships that you have. So let's talk about your early experiences in love. This is usually around your formative years, when you're younger, when you kind of have those early experiences of relationships. I honestly think that some of y'all probably were exposed to the ideas of relationships at a very young age with the Lovers card here. Some of y'all could have had a preschool boyfriend, girlfriend, partner. Your first kiss might have happened in elementary school. You just seem to tick certain milestones really early on. Even if that's the case, with the Lovers being reversed, I feel like the early stages of your journey are about you knowing that love has layers. And I think that you're a romantic at heart, but I also think that you're a skeptic. And you may have realized that from a young age too. I almost feel like you're a bit of a heartbreaker, my group threes. It feels like you guys have broken some hearts, and that started in school. It definitely started in your schooling years. Not elementary school for all of you, but your schooling years. I think that you either had your heart broken at a young age, or you were out here breaking hearts, and it could have been mutual, because there's a lot of energy here of movement in your love life in your younger years, and inconsistency when it comes to crushes, and attachments. So this could have been centered around your upbringing as well. Maybe you had inconsistencies. Maybe you moved a lot. Maybe you moved schools a lot. Maybe you just met a lot of people. You moved classrooms a lot. whatever it is, there's a lot of inconsistency here. And because of that, you kind of come and go in other people's lives. So I think that you had people who were interested in you, but I don't think that you were able to be a consistent person in their lives. And I also think that you became very protective of yourself because of that. With the Lovers card reversed, sometimes this is also about you feeling like you're not receiving the love that you deserve. So when I see that at a young age, it makes me question what your parenting situation was like. Maybe some of y'all had very rough sort of situations going on at home, or your family was going through a lot. You just feel like you didn't get the love that you deserve when you were younger. For some of y'all, this is also talking about your V card, your virginity. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on YouTube. You guys may feel like your first time being intimate was something that wasn't handled appropriately, or it could have happened in a better way, because that seems to be tied into this. I didn't get the love that I deserved, or it could have happened later or earlier than you were expecting. There is this energy of, in hindsight, wishing that you protected yourself more. But at the moment, you were doing the best that you could with what you had. You were following your impulses. You were very naive, and it feels like you did things that you regret. So if you don't resonate with being fully on that spectrum in terms of all the way with everything that I've said, then at the very least, this is about you feeling like you don't have stability, and your formative years in love were about lots of fleeting crushes, and feeling like you didn't get the love that you deserved, and so you had to feed that love to yourself. The next significant chapter in this journey to your love life, or to your future spouse, is showing up as the Ace of Coins. And the thing is, this is where we see an opportunity to really establish a meaningful connection. The Ace of Coins is showing up for you as an opportunity for commitment in your love life, but it could have coincided with either a big decision that you had to make about your material world, or a milestone that you had as well. So maybe you had accepted a really amazing job at the same time that you kind of met somebody who you could see yourself having a future with. Maybe you fell pregnant at the same time that you realized that you had strong feelings for this person. Whatever it is, when it comes to love, it feels like this chapter of your love life was about you trying to balance your material needs with your desire to make a relationship work. Now, the thing is, you come across as somebody who a lot of people are attracted to. So I believe that in this instance, you may have sacrificed your opportunities to other people without realizing it. I don't think that you guys realized how much attention you get. I think that you stepped into this assuming that you were getting the best deal out there, and really putting this person on a pedestal, whoever this person was. You kind of looked at them like they were the big deal, right? The Ace of Coins is like oh my God, you're joking. This is the deal of a lifetime. Not realizing that actually you have 100 million people, maybe not that many, but a lot of people looking at you going like, that's who group 3 chose to be with? Like, what? Other people may have really heavily judged your relationships and your exes and the people that you choose to give your attention to, because they're just like, group 3 is with that? And so I think, like, no disrespect, especially if this is somebody that you're still on good terms with, you kind of go into this seeing this as something that could really be what you've been looking for. And I'm getting a lot of optimism and hope about this, but I'm also getting a very grounded side where there's like a logical and practical reason for wanting to do this as well, because it's going to benefit your material world as much as what you feel inside. Now, the Ace of Coins is an interesting card love life wise, because when we look at your love life developing as a whole, the Ace of Coins talks about needing to put in effort to turn this potential into something long lasting. It's not a promise, it's an opportunity for potential. And we can see, following the Ace of Coins with the Justice card being upright, that this doesn't last. Justice reversed is a separation. It is a recognition of differences that is causing major opposing beliefs and ultimately a split. So in a relationship reading, this is probably a breakdown of a marriage, a breakdown of a relationship, or a recognition of why previous relationships didn't work out, and what those differences were, and the fact that they can't be recovered. This is a relationship ending that cannot be recovered. This can also talk about legal issues impacting your love life, which is why it feels like a divorce. So I think that despite you feeling like you really had something, the Justice card alludes to the fact that right before you come into union with your future spouse, you are going to be in a period of reflecting on why these things fell apart the way that they did previously. And you're going to recognize a trend here of where this theme from your early formative years is being imprinted on the people that you are trying to forge meaningful relationships with. That idea of I just didn't get the love that I deserve is being imprinted on your relationships. You're trying to project that fantasy or an idea of how that can be more fulfilling, kind of making up for what you didn't get to experience or have in previous younger years onto that relationship. The thing is, I feel like you could have separated from your ex very amicably. I'm not going to write that off. I feel like you could have been through so much to the point where you're able to call it quits, knowing that you tried everything that you could and that you really did give it your best shot. But for others of you, you might walk away feeling incredibly hurt and sorry for yourself, questioning how you let that situation really get the best of you. You seem to come across as somebody, based on your reading, who takes your relationships very seriously. And you really want to give it 110%. You don't like to give up. With the Last Judgment card here, your road to your future spouse is about you really burning the bridges of the people that you want a future with before making yourself available for a brand new beginning. You have revelations that really offer you the deep insights needed to be able to process your attachment style. I have a feeling that you are trying to find a lover who can love you the way that you feel you weren't loved enough when you were younger. And I do think that there was someone in your life who had a lot of potential, but I think that there was a lot of incompatibilities, and maybe you naturally grew apart with the Justice card, or maybe they never were that person and you just hoped that someday they would be. So I do think that overall, the road to your future spouse is about you understanding that you have choices and that you are somebody who is sought after, and that ultimately your confidence is what is going to attract the right person to you based on how you allow that person to see you. I have a feeling here with the Five of Wands, your love life is going to be a little bit challenging. Energetically, it's like a why can't I get it right type of feeling. But it's also challenging because when you are single, I think that you get a lot of attention. So how are you supposed to navigate all that, right? Like it feels overwhelming. It feels really overwhelming. And I think that you have the tendency to attach yourself to people who are clearly not able to fulfill what it is that you need. And right before you meet your future spouse, maybe you've been separated from your ex for a while, but this Justice card is talking about the fact that you just don't seem to be getting it right. Like you're in an energy where it feels like every person you meet is incompatible. Every person that you try to grow with is not able to meet you halfway, let alone go the full mile. So it's this strong energy of frustration in your reading and of really just feeling like your love life is a burden right before your future spouse comes in. Even though you have options, even though people are honestly, some people are worshipping the ground that you walk on, but that doesn't mean that you want them to. So let's pull another deck out, see if I missed anything. Spirit, what have I missed here with the Lover's card? No way. I split the deck and the Lover's card is in the middle here. What have I missed here with the Lover's card for my group 3s? We have the 3 of Wands reversed. What have I missed with the Ace of Coins? We have the Ace of Cups reversed. What am I missing with the Justice card? 5 of Pentacles upright. At the back of the deck is the King of Pentacles reversed, which I am going to put over here. Okay, so here's the thing, my group 3s. In your formative years, with the 3 of Wands reversed, love for you was very much about feeling like, okay, this is interesting. There's a message here about getting burned. You guys may have not had the opportunity to forge many meaningful connections growing up. There's a strong emphasis here on something being very short-lived. Like maybe you moved a lot, or you had to kind of be moved a lot. You didn't get the chance to grow and develop things the way that some of you were robbed of your childhood here. 3 of Wands reversed, the Lover's card reversed. Like your earlier experiences could have been very experimental, very short bursts of passion, attachment, and infatuation. Especially with the 3 of Wands reversed, that's an energy that doesn't progress. It just stays stuck. There's this initial spark, this initial sort of promise, and then it just stays there. It doesn't grow. So you might have had a lot of short, fleeting affairs or crushes or infatuations. And then with the Ace of Cups reversed over the Ace of Coins, that is a new beginning that turns sour because emotionally it's not fulfilling and it becomes unrequited. I also just think that eventually that stage of your love journey is about you recognizing how important self-love is and how important that self sort of sufficient love is. You can't expect that level of stability in a relationship without having that foundation first. At least in your case, some of y'all are recognizing how people can also be taken advantage of when they don't have a strong foundation of self-love, self-worth. I do think that this theme of you rejecting people just is throughout your whole life. You guys may say a lot of no's. You may have a lot of people just sort of come up to you in the street and be like, group 3, what are you doing? Where are you going? And you've become very good at saying, no, thank you, I'm not interested. Or, oh, I'd rather not talk about that with you. Like, there's a strong message here of rejection and you mastering the art of rejection. I feel like you guys say no, but I also think that you may have the tendency to go after people who are unavailable as well. So it's like this interesting game of like you dishing out rejection and then receiving rejection as well. There's a lot of early energies here of fresh feelings, not really deep feelings until we get to the Justice card and the 5 of Pentacles. So you may have a lot of short sort of fleeting connections or affairs or like crushes that don't really go anywhere. Seeing a lot of signs of a very meaningful heartbreak though, once when you're formative and then again right before you meet your future spouse. So over here, clarifying the Justice card with that 5 of Pentacles, what I've missed there is a feeling of loneliness. The incompatibility isn't the main part of that part of your journey. The main part, or the main theme, I should say, in that part of your journey is about feeling like you just don't have that connection that you crave. With the Five of Pentacles here, it's a feeling of being alone, and like everybody around you or everyone that you try to meet just doesn't have it. They don't have that connection to you that you're looking for. So right before you meet your future spouse, you're going to be feeling like you're just not fulfilled. People around you just don't seem to be what you want anymore. And moving forward, you're recognizing that you have to make changes to your approach. The way that you approach love seems to be wrong. You're going at it from the wrong angle. So the Five of Pentacles in this deck talks about material troubles as well. So you could be undergoing legal issues or changes that impact your material world that result in you needing to change your lifestyle or reconsider your spending, maybe even relocating until you can be more stable. It feels like right before you meet your future spouse, you've decided enough is enough. And you have to make some pretty big changes to your whole life, which are going to impact your relationships. And you're also using this as an opportunity to reevaluate your attachment style and how you forge connection, what you did wrong, and how you can be more careful next time is what it feels like. So I'm going to pack this up. I kind of want to look at how you're going to meet your future spouse, because that isn't obvious at this stage. I really can't tell. Actually, we won't use this deck. We're going to use this deck. Spirit, how does group 3 meet their future spouse? How does group 3 meet their future spouse, Spirit? How does group 3 meet their future spouse? We have the 11th house upright. This came out for another group as well. We have Midhaven reversed. How does group 3 meet their future spouse, please, Spirit? Okay, we also have Aquarius reversed, and at the back of the deck is the 3rd house reversed. I am getting a rebellious energy in this group. I wasn't getting that the last time I saw the 11th house, but for you guys, there seems to be a rebellious energy here. So I feel like you meet this person when you're really trying to push the envelope. You're trying to test boundaries and you're trying to just go against the grain because what you've been doing hasn't been working for you. So you need to try things from a different perspective. I'm hearing no more Mr. Nice Guy. Not to label genders or anything, but I guess the overall message here is you breaking out of character, reanimating and reinventing yourself. You meet this person at a time when you're really trying to do things differently. You could meet this person through friends, but it seems like it's really important to you at this stage that you meet your future spouse, that you don't repeat past mistakes. So I can see physically that you would meet this person in a very new place, something that you're not usually comfortable doing. You might be trying a new hobby, or you might even be traveling in a new place. You do seem to have a support person with you at the time that you meet your person. It's likely you could meet them online. I just have to throw that out there, especially nowadays. That's one really common way that people meet. But you guys also got 2 cards that represent communication and technology. So there is a potential for you to meet this person online, but it would happen at a time when you have support. So there's either a group chat going as well, or you've got like a sibling or a friend on speed dial, and you're kind of like, what do I say? What am I supposed to do? Do I meet them? Do I go here? There seems to be like an emotional support person with you at the time that you meet your future spouse. You may be trying to prioritize yourself at the time that you meet this person. So I'm kind of getting a message that you would want to take this very slow. That's what I'm seeing. I'm going to clarify with another deck, but I do feel like this is a connection that you would want to take slow, because you seem to be very focused on your individuality and your sense of self from the perspective of who the hell am I and who do I want to be, and I don't need a relationship right now to stop me from my journey of self. So with Midhaven reversed, it's likely that you could be on break, you could be between jobs, or you could be taking time off of work when you meet your future spouse. It's also likely that you could be out of your comfort zone in a new location or a new place that you haven't really been to before. I think that this is very random for you. I think that it's almost a surprise meeting. I don't think you're expecting to meet this person. I think that when they pop up and when you're introduced to them, the significance of who they are doesn't hit immediately. I think that they make a very strong impression, but I also think that they are very easy to talk to, and they follow up with their communication, which is what helps them stick. I don't think you expect this person to be consistent, nor to be your future spouse. I just think that you're seeing them as someone who's a part of your rebellious phase. So Spirit, what deck should I use? I think I've got to use this one just because it's a bit smaller than my other decks. How does group 3 meet their future spouse, please? How does group 3 meet their future spouse, Spirit? Whoops. Let's pick that up. How does group 3 meet their future spouse? We have the King of Wands upright. So traveling is very likely. It's also likely that you are doing something that you've always wanted to do when you meet this person. You're trying to move ahead. I'm seeing move ahead, Chariot energy. There's also North Node energy here. Do something that you've always wanted to do. Two of Pentacles, that's an interesting turn of events. Two of Pentacles is a lot more boring compared to the King of Wands. But again, back of the deck is the Four of Cups reversed. So I do think that you're likely to meet this person when you're very busy, when you're out doing things. You have a list of some things that you are trying to do, kind of like errands, but more exciting. Kind of like errands, but more exciting. Instead of just sort of like going, oh, you know, I got to do this, I got to do that. You're like, well, I only have 7 days and I'm going to be in Athens for 2 of them. So, you know, I really just want to make sure that I go and see this Greek monument. Like that's what it's kind of giving me the vibe of. I only have so much time. Sorry, we were cut off and my camera battery is about to die, so I don't know how much longer I can talk. But it's kind of like a surprise because you don't seem to have a lot of time. You're a very busy person. You bump into this person. They're exciting. They want to do what you want to do as well. They're definitely very different. They might be ideal because they kind of match the vibe that you're in. And so you want to make the most out of the chance that you have to experience something that you wouldn't have been able to experience. Spirit, is this likely like a booty call or something? Could be. It doesn't have to be. For some of you, it could be a spontaneous, like, you know, oh, this is exciting. This is an attractive person. I just want to have fun with them while I'm on vacation. But for others of you, you won't actually be intimate with this person. You'll just kind of see it as an opportunity to meet somebody who is in a place that you're very excited about. I don't think this is like a situationship or anything. It's more of like a friendship. Are they a professional, Spirit? Is this person a professional? They just show up as the King of Wands. I just split another deck and we got the King of Wands again. So they're like an entrepreneur, a very fun person, an exciting person. Could be like a tour guide. Could be like a, you know, a travel agent. even a coach driver, someone very exciting to you. Lots of fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, mostly Leo. But I'm also seeing strong Aquarius. I'm seeing Capricorn with Midhaven and the Two of Pentacles. A little bit of Cancer, a little bit of Gemini, and a little bit of Sagittarius and Pisces. So that's probably as close as I can get, sweet soul, when it comes to how you're meeting this person. You guys will probably have to catch a flight in order to meet this person, because it gives me this energy of you kind of being in a different location, really doing something that you've always wanted to do. So traveling is probably likely. Anyway, that's as close as I can get for this group. I'm so sorry. But we got to move forward. My camera's about to die and it takes forever to charge. So closing advice on how you can best speed track your union. Spirit, what is the closing advice for my group 3s to help them get into union with their future spouse? We have the World card in the reverse position. What is the advice? We have the Fool card upright. Wow. Apologies about this glare. I am filming with natural lighting, so as the sun shifts, so does the shadows. Oh, I should get that on like a hat or something. We also have the Hermit card, Seek, which is going into the shadows over here. At the back of this beautiful deck, we have the Eight of Cups in the reverse position. So here's the thing, sweet souls. Your advice to help you come into union with your future spouse is about letting cycles come to an end naturally. You had a very similar message to another group, just saying. Very different journey, slightly different story when it comes to how you meet your future spouse, but your advice is very similar. In order to meet your future spouse, you have to embrace new beginnings. You're somebody who does like to know that you've done everything, and I also think that one of your relationships is very complicated. It's not easy for you to just end that relationship, and it's not wise for you to just walk away from it when the going gets tough, especially if this is somebody that you end up having kids with. I feel like you end up staying in a relationship for much longer than you want to and much longer than you should. But that doesn't mean it's not a part of your divine plan. Trust that your future spouse is going to come into your life exactly when they are meant to. All that you can do in the lead up is the best that you can with the information that you have. With Embrace reversed and the Hermit card upright, your love life is about you learning lessons. And some of those lessons are going to feel like you've learned them the hard way, the unfair way, the why did this have to happen to me way. But it is going to build you character, and it's going to build you wisdom. It's going to help you understand what it is that you want. And the next chapter of you getting out of a relationship that has well and truly run its course is really about you seeking yourself. So my best advice that I can give this group is to continue seeking yourself through all your experiences, through all your relationships with that not the 9 of anything, it's the Hermit card. This is very much about allowing yourself the dignity to have space for yourself in your own life. You come across as somebody who has to sacrifice a lot, either because you become a parent or because a relationship dynamic ends up becoming so. And so really recovering and moving forward is about creating room in your life for yourself and for time with yourself. Don't be afraid to walk away. Don't be afraid to go back. I do think that this is a group that likes to feel like they've done everything that they possibly can before they walk away from a relationship, and there's nothing wrong with that. You are building a lot of resilience, a lot of awareness, and a lot of trust in your intuition and in what it is that you need to do. I also think that you have relationships in your life that deserve second chances before they truly and naturally come to an end. So This is very much about doing what is best for you, about trusting what is best for you, and allowing yourself new beginnings when you are ready for new beginnings. Don't be afraid to go back if that is what you need in order to fully embrace what is best for you, and in order to fully understand what is best for you. I think I'm going to leave your message there, sweet souls, and take this into your extended reading, where we will have a look at your future spouse's journey to you, what the road to you looks like from your future spouse's perspective. We're going to get more information about who your future spouse is as well. We actually didn't get much about them, now that I'm thinking. I think that this reading was really more about you, and about making sure that you are staying true to who you are so that you can come into alignment with this person. Authenticity is a big part of how the two of you come together with all that Aquarius energy. Staying true to who you are and rebelling for all the right reasons is how you come into union with this exciting King of Wands energy. So in your extended, we're going to have a look at more about your future spouse, what their personality is like, how the two of you are compatible, and more importantly, what their road to you looks like, what their journey to you looks like. If that sounds insightful, helpful, and especially if the first part of your reading resonated, as well as if you would like to support me and what we do right here, then click the link in the description box or the pinned comment. That link takes you to my extended readings page on my website, where I host, oh my gosh, it's like 280 extended readings. So make sure you click on the right one before you purchase it. Remember, you are group 3 of the Your Road to Your Future Spouse reading that I posted in March, I'm going to say 2024. If not, it'll be April 2024. But it should be fairly easy to track down depending on the title and the thumbnail. So go ahead and find it. If this is where you are leaving us, thank you so much for all of your time, your energy, and your support right here on YouTube. It means the world to me. I'm so grateful for this community. You have no idea how helpful, oh my gosh, don't make me cry, everything has been in terms of being a part of this beautiful network right here on YouTube. So thank you. I wish you peace, prosperity, abundance, happiness, health, wealth, success, and joy on your journey ahead. Look after your beautiful selves until we meet again. Bye.